Hi guys, so today I will be talking about The It Girl. This is the New York Times bestselling series created by Cecily Von Ziegesar, author of Gossip Girl. And this is just how the back looks. I'm only going to read this top part. I'm not going to read this. I'm going to talk about the book through my perspective. So it just says, every girl dreams about it, some just have it. How far will one girl go to become the It Girl? Created by Cecily Von Ziegesar. I'm sorry if I'm butchering her last name. And then it just says, author of the #1 best-selling series Gossip Girl. So starting off, guys, I love this book. This is a book that I purchased when I was about, I want to say 18 or 19 years old. It's been around for a while. If any of you guys watch the Gossip Girl, it's kind of a book spin-off of that. It's about one of the main characters from Gossip Girl, Jenny Humphrey. And basically, if you guys have never watched Gossip Girl, there's two main characters. Well, there's more than two main characters in Gossip Girl. But there's a main character, Dan Humphreys, and he has a little sister, Jenny. And Jenny is kind of like wanting to be, even in Gossip Girl, she kind of like wants to be in the loop, like wants to be in the scene. Like she wants to, like, she's really into fashion. But the issue with their family is like they don't have as much money as other families do, and like they're not as fortunate as other people are. So like that's like her issue, basically. Like she's not afforded the same opportunities, but some way in Gossip Girl she gets her way, and she always like makes sure that she's not like missing out on things that she feels like she can benefit from, whether it's doing it behind her back or not doing it the right way. She always learns her lessons from the things that she does. But getting back to the book, so now that you guys kind of know a little backstory about her, in this book, it's a spin-off. She ends up going to a private boarding school, and obviously she doesn't want anybody at the boarding school to know that where she came from or who her family is. Like she kind of like wants to make a name for herself. And lucky her, she ends up getting roomed with the biggest scandal at this boarding school, and she ends up finding out like the secret life of a girl that like got kicked out of this school, and she ends up making her name for herself, and she ends up like being the It Girl, basically, like the popular girl at this boarding school. It's kind of like teeny bopper-ish, guys, but it's like one of those books where it's like it's like equivalent to a Twilight to me, like in a way, because it's one of those books where it's like, I'm too old to be reading this probably, but I love Gossip Girl so much, and I have such a huge like a super like nerdish like fangirl over this, that like I love this book. And actually, like, another reason why I do love this book too is because it honestly teaches you so many lessons. Like, you have to really be careful who you trust, and I think aside from this book and also Gossip Girl, these two things put together, it really teaches you that just be who you are. And in reality, even though like she kind of lies about who she is, it really teaches you to stay true to yourself, because like even though she wanting to be the It Girl and everything like that, like it really pays off to tell the truth and be who you are. And that's what this book really teaches you. This book is an easy read, guys. It's probably something that they would give my little sister in 8th grade to read, which is fine. But it's such an easy read, not that many pages. If you guys are avid readers like I am, you guys could probably finish this book in like a day or two. It doesn't take that long to read. It took me about 2 hours to read. 2 to 3 hours, I want to say. I got through it pretty quickly, but it does depend on like if you're interested in the actual book. I was very interested in it, like you guys probably can tell. The book is not expensive at all, guys. It's definitely not expensive. I do suggest probably buying it on like an e-version, but if you guys are like me, I physically need something to hold in my hand, so that is why I try not to purchase e-versions. I try to always get the real book. I really love the hardcover books. Those are my favorite, but the paperback ones will do well. Something else that's really cool about this book too, each chapter when it starts, and by the way, let me see, the name of this boarding school that she ends up going to. So it's like each chapter starts off with like a Waverly owl does not, and it's like rules of this boarding school. And so that's something that's cool about this. And also, let me see if I can find it. Oh, here it goes. Something else that's really cool about this book too is that it has these I ams like throughout the book, to different like characters in the book. Like it has like I ams like that's helping tell the storyline in this book, and I love that. Like sometimes reading gets a little boring, and I'm not gonna lie. If it probably didn't have the I ams in this book, I probably still would have loved the book. But reading like I am, or sometimes if it's just words, I'm like, oh man, I need to take breaks. But giving something to break it up and like having I ams and stuff throughout the book, it really helped me a lot to want to finish the book. And so that was another cool thing about this book. But like I said before, guys, really like one of my favorite series, The Gossip Girl, and for them to just make a spinoff like The It Girl in a book, it just encouraged me to read. It's like, okay, you need to start reading. And I was just like, okay. But I love this book, and I think you guys will too. And like I said before, this is just The It Girl, the New York Times bestselling series, created by Cecily Von Ziegesar, author of Gossip Girl.